provides, through the hard work of its students and faculty, a lot of really valuable skills. In particular, overall communication skills, as you would expect, but writing skills, presentation skills, the ability to work in groups and teams, the ability to understand and process messages, to communicate effectively with a wide range of people. These are really valuable skills that'll serve students in whatever career they end up choosing. The course starts with Scom 240 and 241, and in fact, we really like our students to take the other core classes as quickly as possible. So one core class that students will sometimes put off but should take a little bit quicker is Scom 242, which is presentational speaking. In that class, it's exactly what it sounds like. You will give a variety of speeches, informative, persuasive speeches on special occasions, and then some other things that various professors will do. It's great preparation for the upper level communication classes where you're often going to be doing some speaking in group projects or individually. Another one of the core classes is Scom 280, which is Introduction to Research Methods. That class is a prerequisite for the Advanced Research Methods class that every student has to take. Intro to Research Methods is also exactly what it sounds like. You will learn about a number of different kinds of ways to conduct research. You'll learn about evaluating the quality of sources. It works on things like APA style and also writing skills. So it's classified as a writing intensive class, meaning you can expect to do a lot of writing and a lot of revision. The class is also a prerequisite for one of our other core classes, which is Scom 341, Persuasion. And we are very diligent about keeping track of those prerequisites. You have to take 280 before you take 341. So it is a good idea to take 280 as quickly as possible. In Persuasion, you learn about theories related to the process of persuasion, and also we'll typically have various opportunities in that class to apply what you've learned. Many of us who teach persuasion have you do a formal critique of a persuasive campaign using what you've learned all semester. And then the last core class is Scom 394, which is the assessment test. And that's not actually a class in the sense that you would come to class and sit and discuss and hear lectures and take tests. It literally is a 0 credit class, and the only thing you have to do is take our assessment test given the dates that I'll give you to take that test. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half in the Ashby Computer Lab.
The Advocacy Studies concentration is designed to help students figure out ways to advocate for those issues which they think are most important to them. And it straddles the line between traditional political communication and more of a social movement, public on-the-ground advocacy work, which is based, both in the practicum and in the classroom.
The concentration in minor in cultural communication invites students to thoughtfully reflect on themselves, their relationships, and the worlds they live in by thoughtfully examining communication of identity, culture, and relationships, whether it is through conversations with friends, family stories, movies and film, or even social media. The courses in the concentration, therefore, focus on instances of intercultural contact. They focus on instances of mass media, family communication, and even travel abroad experiences.
The health communication concentration is about applying communication principles in health contexts. So we look at doctor-patient communication, and we look at mass-mediated messages about health, and what we're really looking at is the impact of communication in all sorts of different health contexts, or communication messages and how we can better design messages, But we also look at the interpersonal elements as well. So we look at social support, for example, which is how we support people that have an illness. So that's also really important. It's not just doctor-patient communication. It's the everyday talk and health. And so an example of everyday talk and health would be the Fat Talk Free campaign. Looks at trying to improve our everyday talk as a way of improving our health. So we look at communication, concepts, and theories in a variety of health contexts.
The interpersonal concentration is a lot about learning about human interaction, communication skills that you can use when you're interacting with other people. We talk a lot about one-on-one interactions, but it really can go with any kind of interpersonal interaction that you have with one person, with groups of people. All of the skills that you learn and the theories that you learn in the interpersonal concentration can help you with any communication endeavor that you decide to have with superiors, with subordinates. They can help you with friends, with romantic partners, with family members, all kinds of different situations.
Most of the time when I tell students what WordCom is, I am talking about how we are not like the College of Business, but yet how we are very similar. Because we study management theory, we look at how organizations function, but we look through a communication lens instead of a business lens. And that process means that we are really studying the pieces and parts and taking things apart, much like all aspects of our communication program, but looking at organizations and most of the time how well they don't communicate.
Public relations is where we try to build relationships between organizations and its publics. Our students benefit from a variety of different classes. They take theory classes, skills classes, and even a capstone class where they work with a real client. Public relations is interesting because we combine theory and practice. So they're going to learn a lot about the theories of how you build relationships, but then they're actually going to see how you do it.
You become accepted into the major by first declaring it, and the advice I would give to anyone who's watching this video who's not already a major is to declare it early, because sometimes it takes the registrar's office a few days to process the paperwork. Once you declare the major, you become eligible to enroll in Scom 240 and 241, which you must take simultaneously. You take Scom 240 and 241, and while you're in that class, you're exposed to a lot of information about the major and the various concentrations, and then you apply, assuming you're still interested in the major. While you're in that class, you formally apply for the major. At the end of every academic session, whether it's fall, spring, or summer, that we offer Scom 240 and 241, we then look at your combined grades in those two classes and admit a certain percentage of those students every term we offer the class. The exact percentage and the exact grades required vary based on the number of students we have and who's teaching those courses, and the resources of the school at any given moment in time in terms of how many majors we can accept and still have space in our classes. I think, personally, I know I'm biased, I feel like communication studies is one of the best majors on campus. And I think a lot of that is because of the quality of our students and the quality of the faculty. And so if you get into the major and really apply yourself, get to know your fellow classmates, get to know your faculty members, the sky's the limit.